I was on mute. Hi, everybody. Welcome to
Welcome.
I know this is the old version now.
Oh my God.
Remix with Pitbull. Have you heard it, Brenda?
Nope.
Pretty good, I gotta say. I'm exhausted. Are you?
Yeah, well, it's those 5 o'clock games.
Hello, Jessica. Oh my God.
Yeah, Jessica, you joined. Thank you. It's great having you. Oh my gosh, Marge.
It's so funny. I have people coming from everywhere. I said it last podcast, but I have like people I haven't heard from in like a long time. Reaching out like Andre, the Mets, I can't believe it. And I read a comment today. Someone was saying that they're Yankee fans, but the Yankees are so boring, and that the Mets are so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I haven't heard any Yankee fans say that though. They haven't admitted it.
I had who was, I forgot. I hear so many things, but it was like a Yankee fan saying that it's so much fun to watch the Mets.
Wow. So I've heard Yankee fans who've texted me or who've written to me on Facebook or called me and said, congratulations, like just being happy that the Mets are in it. And I think it would be wonderful to have a Subway Series. And I just want to put this out there. I am not rooting for the Yankees to make it, but I'm not rooting against them either. I'm just going to kind of watch it because I watch every game I could watch, outside of the Mets, just because it's important to know like who we might be able to play the next round. I mean, hopefully we'll be in the World Series. We'll be playing American League team. But
yeah, I mean, if we don't get to cheer or choose, but if I were to, prefer a team to play with in the World Series, it'll be the Yankees for sure.
Yay.
We beat them easily times.
To me, I mean, it'd be great for New York, but it doesn't matter to me who makes it or not, really. I mean,
Jessica said she saw a Yankee fan make a video how jealous he is of Mets fans for how fun the Mets are, and how being a Yankee fan is how being a Yankee fan is like being a fan of a corporation that just goes through the motions.
And let me tell you, and the difference between Citi Field and Yankee Stadium is night and day, because that's what it's like at Yankee Stadium. It's like a corporation. It's like a museum. Like it's not fun. Citi Field's fun. And then, people could say, oh, the Mets have gimmicks, the grimace and the dog and, the whatever guy with the, the pimp guy and all that stuff. So what? That made it a really fun season. And I think we needed that in the beginning of the year. We don't really need that now because really the show is the Mets.
But we really didn't do it. Ron was asking why. I think it's because why was I saying I prefer to play the Yankees? And he said we play the Yankees when they were at their weakest. I don't know. We weren't doing great either, and we beat them.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I have like these flashbacks of 2000, and I was at the 2 of those World Series games, and it was heartbreaking, and just the whole Clemens with Piazza and just agonizing. I don't know if I could deal with
too much.
It's not like I don't have confidence, because right now I feel like the Mets could beat anybody, but you just never know. I mean, I honestly, like the way they played against Philadelphia, I can't believe it in a way, because they beat such a formidable team that actually, had better statistics, had a better record. Their bullpen was amazing, and the Mets destroyed their bullpen. So you just never know. You
You
can't
just
even
never
say,
know.
"Oh, I don't want to play this team," because the Mets could beat that team, like San Diego or Dodgers.
Yes, Jessica, obviously. Would love to play the Yankees if we beat them. I don't want to give them any more bragging
That's
rights if
right.
we were
Yes.
to lose.
I
Sure.
should get
Okay, let's just root for the Tigers.
she get the 8 ball, crazy 8 ball. If we play the Yankees, will we win? What is it going to say? You have a crazy 8 ball. I don't have it here, but I'm almost afraid to use. It's like a Ouija board. Like, no, don't go there.
I know. I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Brenda and I were at the Tuesday game, right?
yeah, it was
Electric.
amazing. So first of all, I can compare because I've
Oh, by the
been.
way.
Yeah, very cool. So I've been to like after from 86 on, because before that I was too young, and I wasn't able to go on my own, and my parents didn't take me. So from 86 on, I've been to every post game National League division championship game, and I can kind of compare. And I'd have to say that Tuesday night was it was so amazing. I'm sure it was the same last night too. I wasn't there, but like that vibe and the electricity was amazing, and it was comparable to 86, and in some ways it was different. um, I thought City Field had a lot more to offer because it was back at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
But
More to
as far
do.
as fan level, I'd say it was very close, to 86.
And technology wise, obviously different with all the lights and how they turn the lights off and the fireworks. And but I was there with I went there with my boyfriend, and he's not, I mean, he enjoys sports, watching sports. He's more like a football fan than baseball. And
Football, soccer football.
football,
Right.
football.
Oh, American
NFL.
football?
NFL.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Go on.
Um, and he said that, wow, the vibe at City Field is so cool. He loved the vibe from the fans, friendly. We sat at a bar upstairs, like an actual bar, and had a drink. And he loved all the environments and areas that you can hang out at City Field. It's almost like an amusement park in a way. It's a lot of fun, and he got the vibe. He's like, wow, the fans, and like during the game everybody was so friendly. And
Well, the one thing they did before, which was amazing, so if you got there like really early and enjoyed like all the tailgating, because I like hung out with people that were tailgating and stuff like that. But they also, what the Mets did, which was great on top of that, because a lot of people just do the tailgating on their own. The Mets kind of created their own tailgating because they had food trucks out there, they had a stage out there, they
that's
were
great.
playing music, they were like
Preseason and postseason
so much.
block
And
party,
then yeah, and it was like the post, like after
pregame,
game party too, where they were,
preseason. You can
I
tell I'm
know you said
exhausted.
preseason. I was like after game, pregame. Yeah. So I thought that was great. Cohen was out there. A couple ex-Mets were there. Matt Harvey, John Franco. Not two of my favorites, by the way, but Steve
I
Cohen
love
is.
them both. I love them.
Who do you love?
I love them both. Dark Knight.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. One season alone, I saw John Franco blow 10 games, one season alone. And I was at every one of those games. So I'm not a fan of his. And then
But you have to stick to your players. They're from your team. They're from the magical 86 Mets. So
so Vogelback?
he's not part of the magical Mets.
No, but I mean, you said stick to your team,
Yeah, but how long was Vogelback in the team for?
John Franco wasn't like an 86 person.
How long was Vogelback in the team for?
No, I'm making a thing.
You
Like
can
sometimes you
compare
don't have to.
Vogelback with Franco.
Sometimes you don't have to stick to the players because they give you agita. I mean, if we want to talk about like relief pitchers too,
Let's say
that
you're traumatized, right? Is that what you're saying? You're
oh,
traumatized?
from John Franco for sure. The
Okay.
balls in the dirt, he's like a Doug says, like I hate the balls in the dirt. And last night, Diaz just really he made me so nervous because having that tying run at the plate and knowing that the Phillies had the power to tie that game and the ability, and if they were a little more patient, I think we might have lost that game. So I don't know if I could take another Diaz outing like that. Just
Did you
bad.
read what Lindor said to him when they visited the Mount?
No, I don't know. What did he
They were
say?
saying that Diaz kept saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Lindor was like, just stop saying let's go and just do it.
Well, or calm down. Like people were saying, talking about it today, they're like, he had to calm down because he was going really fast and he wasn't hitting the strike zone. So that wasn't working. So it was just like, calm down. And I think at that point, once he realized, okay, I gotta change this up because he kept throwing fastballs. And I'm like, dude, are you going to throw a different pitch? Are you going to try to fake these guys out? So, but it all ended well. They won. They got to celebrate. It was their first time celebrating postseason series win
At home.
At Citi Field, not at home.
Exactly, at Citi Field. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it was exciting. It was so wonderful for the Met fans and especially those that really believed in the Mets all year. I mean, we all have our doubts along the way. But I think overall, we stuck with this team and we saw something special in these players and they're just giving back to us going, okay, here, we're going to do it for you. We're going to reward you.
And like I said in another podcast, like all these players that Stearns got, they all had something to prove for themselves, and I think that is they came together for that. And it's like they're like, you're not gonna count us down.
and the ones that didn't do it during the regular season are gone. So this team differs so much from last year in the sense that I felt like they stuck with players too long, or maybe they didn't acquire the right players, or they gave up on the season. But like if the Mets were not, if the players were not living up to their potential, they were gone. And I just haven't seen that, even not only compared to last year, but years prior. I just haven't seen that, like cleaning them out, like goodbye, Wendell and Lopez, all these guys who just didn't do the job. Dykeman, mostly relief pitchers, right?
Yeah.
And then just filling that void with players that were capable of getting the job done. And it's amazing, like you said, what Stearns did was amazing to put this team together.
And Winker, oh my God, the energy. He is just, he is like such a personality.
He really fits in with the team and, and with the fans. I mean, he would be hated by any fan base, like that didn't have him on the team. So we have him, so we love him, but everybody hates him because he's so pesky and so annoying and gets under, the skin of all the other players, opposition, and the fans. He agitates the fans too. But now he's part of us. So we're like, okay.
Yeah, but
we love him. He's great.
The Mets needed that because the Mets have this reputation of being like goody two-shoes. They don't hit back. They don't get into fights, whatever. We need Winker to kind of, we needed a guy like that to kind of start things up. And like, we're not nice, like flipping people. Come on, like a little dirty dirt player.
As long as he is doing the job, right? As long as he's hitting or fielding and he's doing it, then he has the right to just rub it in, right?
Of course. Yeah.
You know,
Ideally,
if you don't
he's performing.
put out, then you know it's worthless, right?
This team, Jessica said, this team has amazing chemistry, and I think last year they were just showing up and playing, but didn't act like they really liked each other. That's true.
Yeah, and
all these big egos did not work.
You know, just seeing the celebration, hearing the interviews, player to player to player, the one that stuck out in my mind the most was when Lindor says, I tell my teammates I love them all the time. I said it 25 times. I love you. I love you. And how many guys are going to say, hey, I've told my, you know, my friend here, my teammate, I love you. And he has no problem saying that because they really do feel that way about each other. I don't know.
And Lindor is such a charismatic person and lovable.
I was going to say, though, I don't know about McNeil, though. I have to tell you, not that I want to put some bad juju in here, but I don't know what they're going to do with him. But he's not fitting in this picture right now. And I'm going to be like curious about what's going to happen with him when he's ready.
I think they're going to play him, you know, like the utility sort of he's been.
Yeah.
And if anything, they're going to use his, you know, he's kind of one of the wiser players, like compared to like Acuna or something. Everybody loves Acuna, but he's young and impressionable and eager. Maybe McNeil will be more of a, I don't know how they're gonna. Yeah. I trust Mendoza. He's gonna use him the right way. I really fully trust, especially after last night. I was like, get Diaz out of there. I was one of those. I was really nervous. I was pacing back and forth in the living room. I did not even sit down. And oh wow, I was just Mendoza. I don't know if you got lucky or what, but
I mean, that's another thing, like just talking about, you know, we talk about each player, but Mendoza, he was the right manager, coach for this team. And he's communicates well with the players. They love him. They respect him. He has that experience, maybe not as a manager, but he was with the Yankees. He was a bench coach for such a long time. So he brought that to the table when he came over to the Mets, and he's been fantastic. And you know what? He doesn't always make the right moves because who does, right? But he has outmanaged the, you know, Phillies and the Milwaukee coaches, like hands down. He's done so much a better job. And
no guts, no glory.
And I'm happy that we have him on the team. That was such a good pickup, a good move by Stearns. So
we have Jay Boggs here saying never ask for a team in the playoffs. Never. Okay, I won't ask for anybody.
Oh, so you mean to play a team?
Never, he says. I know. Well, you're right. We should just concentrate on ourselves.
So what's your take out there? You know, did we see some comments out there that people had?
I've been putting the comments.
Yeah, let's go through. Let's you know, get your take on the games and how you feel going forward. And the other thing is, like, you know, Jay just said don't, you know, ask about a team, but
he already said don't do it.
I fucking do it. I don't care. Who do we want the Mets to play? The Dodgers or the Padres? Just curious.
Now I'm afraid to say anything because I was going to say something.
I'm not afraid. Well, we could ask people in the chat room what they feel and their confidence level going forward.
Jessica's saying she doesn't want the Dodgers because I don't want to listen to the media soon over Ohtani for an entire series. Oh God, you're right.
You know what? You know who they're gonna swoon over? They're gonna swoon over Tatis Jr. They're gonna tell how great he is.
Yeah.
And how amazing the Padres season was. And even when they were injured, they came back and they did great. I don't want to hear that either.
Yeah, they're going to just cheer for the other team.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about the broadcasters. I love how they went quiet they go quiet every time the Mets did
Uh,
something.
let's talk about this because I can't tell you. Ron finally came home from his physical therapy rehab. Yay, being away a month, right?
Welcome back,
Came home
Ron.
to see the Mets like clinch, and we were watching together, and it was just excruciating to listen to these announcers, and they were rooting for the Phillies pitch after pitch, every play, it was like they were fans, Philly fans.
Totally fans.
And it was so annoying to me. I can't stand it. And we know we're going to get, regardless of if it's San Diego or Dodger, we know we're going to get that New York hate for the next series. So we got to get used to it or turn it off and put Howie Rose on the radio.
Yeah, so. I'm with Jessica. I don't want to hear the whole like blabbering about Ohtani, how incredible he is. My opinion of Ohtani changed after the whole gambling thing. I mean, he's incredible, but I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Like what he's doing is great, but it's like in its own category.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it was Lindor, the one that's in the competition, like I would not pick him as an MVP.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ohtani did what no player's ever done before, so he is an MVP. He had an amazing season. I give him that. As far as his personal stuff going on, he's still innocent until proven guilty, but we all speculate that he knew more than he let on. But nobody's going to talk about it, and that's the annoying thing. It's like it happened, and they just kind of wiped it under the rug because they didn't want to deal with it because it's Ohtani. If it was anybody else, they'd probably be in prison. But like I said, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, it's probably not Ohtani's fault. It's the MLB that maybe I should.
Yeah.
So Mark said announcers were horrible. And Ron said, "Wow!" And Ranger pitched himself out of another jam. Yeah, he was pretty good.
No, but that's like Ron saying, like that's the way they kept announcing it. Like,
yeah,
Suarez, Ranger Suarez. Oh, he's so great, he's so great.
Oh, and then the Phillies need to do this in order to do that, and they need to bunt, and they need to hit, and then.
Oh my God! Yeah, everything they needed to do. I'm like, what are the Mets gonna do here? you know, remember there's another team. So
yeah, that's what I think, Ron. He didn't play the field. He's talking about Ohtani.
And going back to the game last night, I have to tell you. So I wasn't at last night's game. I was at Tuesday's game. We were at Tuesday's game, and I felt like Tuesday's game was in total control, and the electricity was like so amazing throughout. Last night, because we were talking about Suarez, he, when he got out of those innings, the Mets were leaving the bases loaded. I was like worried, and that stadium really got quiet there. And it wasn't quiet at all Tuesday night. But last night, I think there was like a sense of like, oh my God, if we don't capitalize now, it's just we're gonna lose.
Yeah. What I would keep telling myself is like they're hitting the ball. That's all that matters. Okay, frustrating that they left the bases loaded, but I'm like they're hitting the ball. It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
Oh my God. Than me, because I was thinking like this is your opportunity. If you don't do it now, we may never get it again, especially if the relief pitchers came in and did the job they usually did all year. But that was the remarkable thing, was like they bring in their best relief pitcher, had ERA of like maybe 1.06 all year long, and to give up, to lay that ball down the pipe and for Lindor to hit that grand slam it was so amazing and so electric. And that just, forget it, that woke everybody up. If we were all doubters, that changed it right there, that one swing.
Yep. Yeah, so that's how magical this team is.
Yeah, it was amazing. So what have we got out there? And we're, regardless of who we play, we're going to be in California. So And, like, remember we talked about the travel schedule, like how crazy it was at the end of the year, like, like the Milwaukee and Atlanta and the back to Milwaukee, like all that travel. And then before that, to be out in the West Coast and then having to make up that game in St. Louis and then having to go back to Seattle, like, and I just think, oh, good, like that's so good now because they're going to be traveling. And, sometimes that does have an effect on a team when they have the time zone difference. But I don't think this team, it matters.
I wonder where they're going to be flying down there because, they have, these 3 days, but.
Yeah, when they leave. Well, they start Sunday night. So that's the first game. And then I forget what the next, I think it's Monday after that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Sunday, Monday, off Tuesday, and then back to Citi Field Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So I know I have tickets going, for various games all the way to the World Series. So, but I pick and choose the games I go to. So we'll see which games. Depends on my schedule, but I love being there. I love it. And by the way, that 5:00 time, I was so annoyed when they first scheduled that. I was like, I hate this. Why is it 5:00?
That's nice.
But it was the best time because there wasn't any traffic there going there. There wasn't traffic on the way home. It was so perfect. Well, I left early. That's why I got there.
No, but it was. I love the 5:00 games.
It was nice.
You're home by like 9 or 10.
No, I was 9:30. I was watching the rerun. I DVR'd it and I watched the game again, and then I watched the game again in the morning. So I just couldn't get enough of it. So that's why I think I'm like, and you too, mentally tired.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, by the way, Emily was at that game too, by the way.
Yeah, Emily was there. Someone posted on Twitter the Mets are a drug. Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah, no, you can't get enough. And how many times let's put it out in the chat room. How many times did you watch that Grand Slam over again? How many times did you watch this, like, special moments?
Cry.
I mean, in the last week, it's just something I can't get enough of it. I really can't. I could watch that over and over again. It is like a drug. So I'm curious about you guys out there. Like, were you, do you record it? Do you watch it? Like maybe highlights? I know I do. So
I love how emotional Nemo was.
He was, you have to remember with Nemo, he came up in 2016. The Mets had just made it. Won the National League, championship and made it to the World Series. And in his mind, he said this, in his mind, he was like, wow, I could get used to this. Like, he thought starting out with the Mets, they're going to be like always like
every year.
And then, they did in 22, but we're quickly out. And then, like, to have it happen now and go this far, like, he's feeling it. And that's why he was so emotional, because he's like, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. And Lindor was crying too. And the manager hugging Nemo was crying too. It was just, there is crying in basebafall, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, they even said that. They said that to Mendoza, like in the press after game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said, I guess there's crying in baseball. And he was like, yeah. And then if you saw Lindor's press conference, he had his little, I don't know how old she was, maybe like 2 years old.
Looks like 3 or, yeah.
She was sitting on his lap. And that's really been a big part of his life, right? Like, his family means so much to him, and he incorporates that so much in the game, with his walk-up song, My Girl, which we all love and we all sing. And then, to always have his family there, that's so important to him. And I think, that says a lot about him too and his character.
Yeah,
And
and that shows what Lindor does is like what Jessica's saying. She loves how the Mets have made a family thing, taking pictures with the wives and girlfriends and letting the kids play on the field. That is coming from Lindor, I think, because he
yeah.
looks cool doing it and it's fine doing it. So why not?
And you know what? Like we said it before, being at Citi Field is fun, right? Like they, even when we had that show where they had the dogs, right? Like out the little puppies, they were raising money, for animal shelters.
Like bark
And
at the
then,
park.
yeah, like dogs in the park, like things like that are just so kind of like, it is kind of family oriented. You had said, oh, Jesse Winker had called his daughter and said, look at, like, I got this dog here, like they're, so they've incorporated so much of like the family with the game and fun too.
And it's like I said about the stadium, like the just being there as a fan, like it's so family friendly.
Yeah, they have things for the kids, and no wonder the Yankees are so envious of us, the fans, because we're cool, we have fun things, our stadium rocks so much better than Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, we let our players grow their hair, their beard. We don't care.
Like they could even take their shirt off if they want.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I think that's about it. I mean, I love that we're here in October and we're talking about the Mets going forward, and it's so exciting. And I can't wait to have this go on and continue. And can't wait when we're back here talking more about the Mets winning. Because it's been a magical year and I don't want it to end. I really wanted to just keep going. So
it's about time for not just winning, but to get the respect from we were talking about the announcers. Like I feel like the Mets have been so disrespected for so long. Even as Mets fan, like, oh, when I tell people I'm a Mets fan, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's just so I'm sick of that. I'm done with that. And that's what I think Steve Cohen said. Like, we're done with that sort of bad juju from being a Mets fan. Like that's gonna end. So I'm looking forward to just having a team that people don't feel sorry for me for being a fan.
Yeah, I mean that we wear our hats and our our shirts and jerseys proudly, and I know I'm wearing it all the time, and I'm getting these like thumbs up and yeah, let's go Mets. And also, when I was at the stadium, everybody just seemed so, like you said, friendly. Like people were like, come over, join us for a hot dog, hamburger, like, all like it was, the Met fans themselves, because we've been through so much, we have a lot in common and we share a lot of heartache. And now it's like sharing joy together. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and like Kike also said, it's true. Like he's one of them, right? Like there's a lot of people that are not Mets fans, and they're rooting for them.
And New York has, this reputation like around the country. People don't like New York in general. So, and we understand for the Yankees why, but give us a break for the Mets, please.
Yeah, and it's not the same winning for the Yankees than for the Mets. It's just not the same.
Yeah, well,
we take every win like so passionate, and everything means so much to.
Well, I think for the Yankees, like their expectations always about like winning, always winning every year, with the at the World Series. And when you think about this season, we really didn't have the expectation that we would go to the World Series. I don't know about you. I mean, we always like go, oh, we're going to make it all the way. We're going to go to the World Series, but really management kind of set us up to go, okay, guys, one more year, 2025,
one more year,
we're building, be patient, and so it's really a special year now for for Met fans.
Yeah, and like Kika said, it's New York, but it's two different New Yorks, New York Mets and New York Yankees.
No, it's true.
Two different worlds.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel I can't really compare the two. I grew up next to Yankee Stadium, so for me to go to
what I'm saying, like people from other teams, it's easy for them to compare us with the Yankees.
Yeah, but there's always been that like anti-New York, I think, regardless of like if it's the Mets or the Yankees. I don't know why. I mean,
no,
of course,
I think it's more anti-Yankee than anti-Mets.
Yeah, I think so. I think though, if people just saw what we experienced this year, they would root for the Mets. Like if they were like, oh my God, they had Grimace out there and and like, oh, look at this player and Lindor with a leader and they overcame being
from 05 to oh my God.
Yeah, and it's great. That's such a great saying, right? Howie Rose, I think, came up with that. And
I think it was Gary.
Just
Gary
11 games under 500. Just we're like the underdog team. So I like that about us. And the Yankees have always been like that team. They're going to make it. They got the Judge and so
it's like expected.
Right.
And Jessica's saying Mets fans are blue collar New Yorkers and have to work harder and appreciate what we have.
Yeah, more. You know what? I was thinking that too, but then I wasn't going to say that. I was afraid to say that.
And Mark said the Phillies fans thought the Mets were beneath them for sure.
Yeah. And
underestimated.
That was the other thing too. Is like that first game when I saw the Philly fans in the stands. So angry. I don't know what it was. It was like out of any fan, even more so than Brave fans, they just made me so mad. I was so happy to see them sad.
I was so happy not having to go back to Philly.
Oh yeah, that would have been. And let me tell you, I don't know. Honestly, if they didn't do it last night, I would have been really concerned. I mean, they could have came back in Philly, but I'm so glad they didn't have to do that.
Like I said, the Phillies are the Yankees of the National League.
Yeah.
It's a good way to see it.
For sure. Yeah.
Fran, hi.
Hi, Fran. If you missed us earlier, you can come watch it afterwards. That's the thing about this podcast too. I know, we have some people live. A lot of people can't make it live, but they watch it afterwards. They view us. And if you do that afterwards, make sure you comment and like and subscribe, share. So I guess, oh my God, already 2,000, huh? So anything else? Any last minute items here that we want to talk about? This is Fran, by the way, is a converted Met fan. Not that she wasn't a Met fan, but she wasn't a fan of baseball.
She found the Mets.
She found the Mets.
Like people find God.
Yeah, you found the Mets. And she found the Mets at Citi Field at our outing that we had, which was wonderful that she joined us for that. Now she's converted. So
I'm telling you, my boyfriend is like, let's get tickets. Let's get tickets for the next game. Let's go. This was so much fun. And I'm like, oh my God, let's
go. So you're going to go this week?
I can't this week. I'm going to be away this week.
What?
I'm just going to wait I'm going to wait for the World Series.
Are you going to be watching the game while you're away?
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be filling the Caribbean. So I don't know if I'm going to be able.
Who made those plans? Mm-hmm. It's October. Who made those plans?
I did.
What?
No, this has been booked for a while.
Somebody who didn't know about the Mets being in
who knew?
Oh, wow. Who? The believers.
The Mets have gone from I can't wait for them to tear the team apart to I don't want anyone to leave. That's true.
Oh my God, no, let's keep them. They're keepers. Yes. Listen, they did that in 1986. So that's caused all sorts of problems. So if you go back to that time frame, I was just a little baby then, but I remember. No, I was at the games and they ripped the team apart after the Mets won the World Series. So let's hope they go all the way and they don't get,
Yeah, no one expected that this run, especially when the season ended last year. It was like,
yeah. So
well,
so I guess I don't know, I'll be on here with somebody else for the next podcast talking all things.
What we can do, Brenda, is if we can really plan the day, can probably do it from down there. I'll bring my flag.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can
let's not rule it out. I don't want to rule it out.
Okay, well, I hope you can at least watch the games.
Yeah, I have to. I have my streaming app.
Well, listen, this is next year. No excuses. You can't plan October to go away. Who plans October to go away?
No more.
No. All right.
All right, everybody.
Yes, they are obnoxious.
Very obnoxious. I'm not gonna say how much I spent on this sweatshirt, but it was all worth it. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us. Yuki, Jessica, TJ, Marge, friends, everybody, Marge, Ron, Jay, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's go, Mets.